Hey, welcome. That's right. It's a brand new podcast. I'm very proud to welcome all you listeners and subscribers to my newest show, The FOD Couple, featuring Chris.
Hey yo!
Say hello, Chris.
Hello, Chris.
And of course myself. For a little life context, those of you who have seen the short of the soapbox car that I helped construct, Chris was the one driving it.
That is correct.
There you go.
That is correct.
That's a little insight into who this man is.
Love the music choice on that clip, by the by. You had me rolling.
Oh, thank you.
And sadly, it felt a lot faster than it looked.
Yeah, I'll bet.
No, it was...
Go ahead. Sorry.
It was terrible. Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, he looks a lot faster in the video than he was in real life. I meant to tell you, I don't know if I told you yet, but the GoPro footage did not turn out very well. I had it angled too low, so it was...
Oh, no.
Most of the shot was taken up by your legs.
Well, that's not going to be the move. No.
Okay.
Well, hey, now we know. Next year it's going to be a different angle.
Yeah, for sure. And now, so the day after all those races took place, I sat down and had to follow this very complicated series of steps to reset my GoPro in such a way that I could acquire the Wi-Fi password again to connect it to my phone, which is now functional.
There you go.
So I'll have that as well.
There you go. Well, so not all was lost. Not all for naught.
Things were learned for sure.
Indeed. Well, so Jake, do we want to clue the guests in on what FOD means and how we came about becoming the FOD couple?
Right. Well, I figured. Remember the other day you were saying don't put it in the logo, leave them guessing.
Yeah.
So I figured we wouldn't reveal it to the end of this episode.
Oh, love that. Okay.
Depending on how you feel about it, yeah.
I'm good with it.
I thought could be a little mystery.
Little Easter egg.
There you go. Yeah. So, if you're listening to this, chances are you already know who I am, at least to some extent, because this is going to be going up on my YouTube channel, and it will have a dedicated podcast feed of its own. I'm going to have to work on getting that up, but, it'll be... The reason you'll know it exists because it's a feed of mine. So, Chris, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Oh, man. I am just one weirdo off in his happy little corner of the internet. I have been on the planet for 4.5 decades. I like lots of mechanical stuff, motorcycles, cars, electronics. My latest deep dive is developing into analog synthesizers, and I have developed a bit of a collection of 80s Casio keyboards as of late.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm going to teach myself how to play some piano and make all kinds of funky noises that potentially no one else in the world will hear, but we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Have you seen that piece? I don't remember exactly what it's called. I think it's called 3 minutes 18 seconds, or it's what the name of it is, the length of the piece in time in minutes and seconds, and it's literally just he goes up to the piano, he opens it, he sits down, and then he starts a stopwatch, and then he doesn't touch the piano until the end of the song, at which point he stops the watch, and then he closes the piano, gets up, and walks off the stage.
I have not seen that, but it sounds like his art is right up my alley. I'm half tempted to.
The whole point of it is the whole point of it is the music comes from not himself, but the sounds made, the ambient noises made by the audience, like coughing, heavy breathing, sniffling, that sort of thing.
Okay.
That's what the intent was.
Very avant-garde.
I think his name is John something. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Can I search that John something? 3 minutes John something?
You could try. I don't know if you know what? I'm genuinely curious now. If you search that up, what'll happen? Go ahead.
I am searching up 3 minutes John something. on
We're about to find out.
the most glorious of search engines, DuckDuckGo. All right, we are
Oh
getting.
yeah, you might not then. If
No,
I understand why you use DuckDuckGo, but it's certainly not as accurate, I suppose. Is that it's not necessarily the right word, but as Google,
powerful.
you know what I mean,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
powerful. That's the one.
Tim mentions 3 minute song. That actually looks like a song, though. I'm genuinely
I don't believe
curious.
so.
John Cage, 3 minutes 33.
That's it. I believe
I'm gonna
that sounds more like it anyway.
I'm gonna see if that is the one.
It's opening it up on YouTube.
Yeah, why not?
Fair enough.
It's not like you can hear the audio, so
No, that's true. And even if you could, I'm too lazy to splice that in.
no, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is the right one because the video is a picture of a man and his cat,
Mm-hmm.
and
I don't recall a cat. I don't. If he is he in his house?
it's just a still photo, and I'm not
Oh,
sure
it's a.
if Discord is overriding the audio, but it's literally silence in the YouTube.
No, I can't hear what you're watching, but
No, no, no.
the one I saw was like on a stage.
Right.
So
Right. I'll have to check on that. Anyway, John Cage.
yeah, there's that. Um, I was thinking perhaps we kind of break down how we met.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because those who know me know that I'm not as old as you. No
Yes.
offense, but
None
and they
taken.
might be wondering how we came to know each other.
That is a valid question.
Yeah.
So Jake and I have the good fortune of being coworkers at a
Yep.
global corporation,
Mm-hmm.
and our function is to assemble and validate, test parts and pieces for oxygen regulators for commercial
Yep.
aviation passengers and crew.
That's correct.
And we
We work in a clean room.
work in a clean room, so it's like basically one giant white noise generator that we sit inside in our Tyvek suits and nitrile gloves, and you know, make things to try and keep people alive when bad stuff happens on airplanes. And,
Indeed.
and it's a heavy responsibility, but you know we'll carry it through. We'll carry it through.
Yeah.
We're gonna make those things happen. But we actually met
Certainly.
in the training room.
Yeah. The
It's almost 3 months ago.
orientation
Yeah,
board or whatever
yeah,
you want to call that. Yeah.
yeah.
The way they do it is they'll onboard a group of like 15 to 20 people at a time, and you'll go through this rigorous week-long training process, all with that same group of
Mhm,
people
mhm.
in classes, and they'll be showing you like slideshows, and then there's like hands-on portions as well. Pretty interesting stuff.
Interesting stuff. A lot of information. You know, they really don't give you too many moments to breathe, but I don't think anybody suffered any breakdowns because of it, so that's nice.
No, yeah,
Um,
and we got free Chick-fil-A,
Eat
so
free Chick-fil-A.
I'll take
Yeah.
that as a win.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
anytime you get free meals,
Hmm.
you're doing something right.
That's my that's my favorite kind. When people ask me what's my favorite kind of food, free is usually the answer.
Indeed. And then they're like, no, man, like, what type of food do you like?
Yeah, then you have to be. Oh,
And you're
okay,
like,
that's how we're gonna.
all right. You want to play
Italian,
it that
I
way?
suppose.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's a valid
Hmm.
question.
Yeah, of course.
Specificity, my boy. Specificity.
What would you say your favorite like type of food is?
Favorite type of food. So, I'm on a weird kick right now. I've come to realize my brain likes food for fuel. Like I'm not into the pleasure eating aspect of it, so I don't chase flavors like I
Hmm.
used to. Um, but when I was a bit more varied in my meals. Indian food, top of my list.
Fair enough. That's good
There's
stuff they make over there.
I'm super fan, and here locally in the KC Metro, are we sharing locations? Is that spamming? I don't know.
I mean, as long as you're not like straight up dropping my address,
Oh, no, no,
I'll
no,
be
no.
fine. Like at this point, I've made it clear that I live in Kansas City. Like
Okay,
there's,
okay.
if you want to
I didn't want to
disclose
dox
anything
you
specific, that's on you.
if you hadn't
Yeah.
explained that yes, you are on the KC Metro. So, okay, we're good.
No, that's a known at this point.
Love that. All right, KC Metro. If you're out there, my favorite Indian restaurant is Ruchi. Ruchi.
Yeah,
You've been there,
I've been there.
dude?
The one by City Thrift.
Is it like over
Is
there
there
on
more than
College?
one? Is it a chain? I actually not
I don't think
never
so.
thought about that.
I believe it's
Okay.
only one, and the one that I remember is like College and Quivira-ish, if memory serves.
Yeah, it's right by City Thrift.
Okay. I didn't realize
It's
there
in
was
a
a
strip
City
mall.
Thrift there. Yeah. That's the one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the City Thrift
Go
is
ahead.
huge, and it's right at the end of it.
Okay, so that City Thrift then did that used to be the hardware store?
No, it's right next to the hardware store. I was wrong. The hardware store is on the very end, and then it's the City Thrift, and then it's the strip mall.
Oh, okay. Got you.
Yeah,
Got you. I'll have to go check out that City Thrift. See if
Yeah.
there's any Casio keyboards there. But no, man, Ruchi, they've got this dish called Chicken 65, and
ooh,
oh, just to die for. Moderate spice, a little bit of that, a little bit of idli sambar, the steamed rice cakes, and soup.
Mm.
Oh man, that was my jam.
I'll bet. Did I think it was there. Did you have their like chai?
There was a time, yes, once I had their chai. It's a bit
They have really
spicier
good
than I
tea.
thought. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, have you had Desi Bites?
I have not.
So that's another Indian place. I can't remember off the top of my head where its exact location,
Okay.
but it's a combination Indian restaurant and like grocer. So like they have got like Indian groceries. So you can go in there and you get your Indian food, and then you can buy like a quart of lassi
Oh,
all in the
stop.
same building. Yeah, I know, right? It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
no, that's killer. I am texting that to myself. Desi bites.
And it's like it's definitely like a mom and pop situation. Like you walk in the restaurant half of the building, and they've got a massive what do you call that? A mural on one wall
Uh-huh.
of it's like India, like an Indian
Landscape.
countryside.
Okay.
Yeah, like landscape. That's the word.
Love that. Love that.
Yeah, good
Desi
stuff.
bites. Well, thank you for that recommendation. Outside of the
You're very
Indian
welcome.
food, which is your preferred cuisine?
Oh, Italian, hands down.
Italian.
No contest.
Okay.
Yeah.
A dish specifically, or just all the pasta?
I mean, I never met an Italian dish I didn't like, but yeah, I'd say like a good pasta with like either like a homemade fresh marinara sauce or Alfredo sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, as long as the sauce is good, or lasagna, which is basically pasta cake.
Right.
If you think about it, or pasta casserole,
You're not wrong.
whatever
You're not
floats
wrong.
your float.
I
Yeah.
like pasta cake. I think that's
Yeah.
that could be a T-shirt.
It's got layers.
It does
like an
got
onion.
layers, right?
Yeah. Or I recently had risotto for the first time in Italy.
Oh yeah.
I had never had it before. It's actually I think it has rice in it if I recall correctly, and like Italian cheeses, and it's really good.
Well, from my understanding, I thought risotto was sort of a type of rice grain.
Yeah,
I could be mistaken
Right. Well,
about
I tell you what, I'll just open up a Google window and we
Heyo, utilizing
I'll
the
just
power
Google
of
it.
the internets.
How about that, huh?
I tell you,
What a
man,
world we live in.
it's a brave new world.
Risotto. Hey, Bootsy's here. He's my cat, and he just walked into my office room. He
What up,
usually hangs
Bootsy?
out in my bedroom.
Well, he's like, what
Let's see
kind of
here.
party we got going on here?
He's he's looking at the blanket that I just threw on the floor. So it's an Italian rice dish cooked with broth until it reaches a creamy consistency. The broth can be derived from meat, fish, or veggies. Hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It was delicious. That's all I know.
It sounds scrumptious.
Absolutely. Oh man, I'm getting hungry just looking at these pictures. I better stop. I better close this.
Yeah, we don't want that crazy train leaving the station just yet. Ah, I
Yeah, not
did.
only hungry but distracted.
Okay, I did find the correct video on the
Yeah.
John Cage's. It's 4 minutes 33 seconds.
4:33. There you go.
4:33, and
I was
yeah,
off by a whole minute.
you're right. That's fine. I don't think you're gonna miss much of it. It's
Fair enough.
legit a man holding a stopwatch at a closed Steinway and Sons piano. It's brilliant.
Oh, he doesn't even open it?
Well, it was open when he showed up, and the first movement is about a minute and 20 seconds in which he starts the stopwatch, closes the piano, watches the stopwatch, stops the stopwatch, opens the piano. Now we're beginning the second movement.
Right. Okay. I knew he like incorporated the opening and closing of the piano,
Yeah.
but that's honestly better. Closing it when you should be playing it. I'm all for it.
It's lunacy, I tell you. 13 years ago. 13 years.
Yeah, it's a pretty old one too.
Yeah, no.
But it's good musical performance art. That and probably my favorite like musical performance art artist has got to be OK Go. Are you familiar with that band?
I have heard one of theirs, but I wouldn't say that I'm familiar with them. Oh,
Oh,
snap.
I definitely recommend it. Like what they're known for is, I mean, obviously their music is good, but what they'll do is they'll make a really like complicated music video to go along with it, and then what's really crazy to me is they do it all in one take. Like obviously they might have to reset if something goes wrong, but like the point is that there's no cuts at any
Yeah.
point during the final version of the video. And so like probably their best known one is the massive Rube Goldberg machine, which they did to their song "This Too Shall Pass."
You had me at Rube Goldberg. Let's
I know,
get
right?
back
It's
to the YouTube and find that.
very good stuff. Oh yeah,
The writings on the
but
wall. They got
probably the
there
most
it is.
impressive one to me is the one for "I Won't Let You Down," where they coordinate with a bunch of umbrellas and hoverboards, and they basically form a giant screen out of a bunch of people holding umbrellas, and the umbrellas act as binary pixels, basically.
I love it.
Yeah,
This is gonna be my little deep dive.
sure enough, man. Anyone who's listening who hasn't ever heard of that band somehow by this point in time, go for it, man. Check it out.
So I've heard the band, and this is the song that I remember from them. The This Too Shall Pass, but I had no idea that their videos were so elaborate.
Oh yeah, that's their whole gimmick. Like,
Yeah,
there's one where
and for sure,
the entire yeah.
anybody who has not seen these yet, do yourself a favor and go to YouTube and type in "Okay Go, This Too Shall Pass." You owe it to yourself.
hmm
Dude, this is
Yeah,
insane.
that one. Yeah, like there are probably three good videos to start with. Is that one, "I Won't Let You Down," and either "Upside Down and Inside Out" or "Needing Getting." One of them is "Upside Down and Inside Out" is they're in like a zero gravity plane, just
Heck yeah.
making all sorts of cool visuals. And
Heck
"Needing
yeah.
Getting" is they like make uh, an obstacle course for like a whole entire car, and they have all this stuff set up so that when they drive past it with the car something on the car hits it, and then like the act of that serves as their instrumentation. So the whole song is played through everything that the car hits as it drives past. And this is like out in the Nevada desert.
That's wild.
I know, it's
I'm
amazing.
loading up my queue in YouTube with all of the OK Go. But yeah, seriously, the world needs more of these talents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then they did a collaborative piece during the pandemic. I'm really sad. I don't know how like what platform. I guess I if I had to guess, it was probably Twitter, which I didn't have.
Mm.
But I missed out on a lot of like collaborative pieces like that I feel like I could very easily have participated in. Like they're like, all right, we got this music, and if you want to be in it,
And join the Zoom
make
call
a
or
video of
something,
yourself
right?
playing it on whatever instrument or singing it or whatever, and send it to us, and then we'll put it in the final video.
Yeah.
But I didn't see it till it was like way too late.
It's okay. It wasn't meant to be.
I guess not.
What instruments do you play, if any, Jake?
Mm, good question. So I like to think I'm at the very least capable of singing. It's not like I ever performed as a singer, but all through high school and eighth grade,
Mm-hmm.
I was a percussionist, and I was on the drum line in high school. I
Go.
played the trumpet in seventh grade, and I was like, "Oh, I can't breathe. Never
Yeah.
again." And switched in eighth grade. Switched to percussion in eighth grade. Never looked back. I still have a. I have a. Actually, I think it's a Casio. Hold on, real quick.
Yeah, yeah.
Got to get up and walk across the room. Yes. I have a Casio WK200 keyboard here in my office, my recording office,
Dig
that I
that.
will sometimes play around on.
Dig that.
Yeah, and I have all the instruments for like Rock Band, you know,
Oh, I
and
do.
the drum set for it. It's made by a company called Red Octane, and I don't have the proper equipment for it, but it can double as like an electronic drum pad. And I'm trying to figure out what like the cheapest thing I could buy to do that is, because I want to try it out as a drum pad.
I think that would be killer. So,
Yeah.
does it? Is there like a little MIDI expansion box that you could plug into it? How does that work?
Yeah, the drum pad.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's you have to get like a MIDI and interface to
Mm-hmm.
to connect it to like a computer. But yeah, I have to figure out what to look for on that. And the keyboard actually has the USB, whatever the fat like square one is. It most
Type.
printers had.
Yeah, Type B.
Um,
I think that's
yeah, I
Type
think
B.
it's just B.
Yeah.
USB B.
Mm-hmm. USB B.
B not mini.
Yeah, not mini or
B full
micro,
size.
right?
Yeah.
Full fat B.
It's got one of those on the back and a headphone plug as well. So, and you know what? I don't think I ever had one, but it's got a pedal input as well.
Oh, for like a sustain or whatever it's called.
Yeah, it's just for sustain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, look at that.
but
Yeah.
for me,
here
I
it
just
is.
hold the key down longer.
Right. RB2 MIDI. Yeah, that does exist.
Ah man.
That does exist. So yeah, it's a shame that you weren't able to take part in all of those fancy pandemic exercises,
Yeah,
but you could
I mean, I
always
bet.
start your own.
Yeah, I bet like those things haven't necessarily stopped, even though we're no longer in quarantine. But that was definitely like the peak, you know, and no one ever had a reason to do that before, because if you wanted to like collaboratively record something, you would just go to a recording space and not do it in your home.
Right.
But yeah, that was definitely one of my favorite things to come out of the pandemic for sure. Is like that level of collaboration we reached.
Indeed. Not only that, but the technology driving it. So to keep
Hmm.
all of the individuals connected, Zoom, Skype, etc., etc. Even the NPR Tiny Home concerts or Tiny Desk from Home concerts were a little bit of a nice departure.
Hmm. I think OK Go did one of those too. I'm not for sure.
It wouldn't surprise me, man. I'm
They're
I'm
wildly
very
talented.
impressed. Very impressed with their stuff.
Mm.
And it's a shame,
Yes.
like their YouTube channel, they only have 1 million subscribers, like just over 1 million subscribers.
Oh yeah, they deserve way more.
Yeah.
They've also got this really cool series called the OK Go Sandbox, where they kind of like breakdown. It's like a combination behind the scenes and educational series of videos to kind of bridge the gap between what they do and like STEM and like, oh,
Hmm.
here's something you as a teacher you could play with your students in class after showing them our music.
Yeah, right. It
Yeah, it's pretty rad.
Are they even around? Are they doing anything musically these days? A lot of their stuff is
They're still
older.
active. I don't remember when exactly their last release was though. That is a good question.
Hmm.
Hmm. What?
Well,
But
regardless,
yeah, that's okay. Go.
it is a rabbit hole I'm going to crawl down this evening for sure. Now, have you taken the time to look at any more Ask a Ninja clips?
Oh no, you know what? I've had a bunch of other like projects and things I've been working on in the background in addition to
Right.
this podcast, so I
Yeah.
haven't had the time to sit down and like watch. I wanted to though.
Yeah, no, that's fair. It's a time suck for sure, but you'll get some laughs out of it.
Yeah, yeah. If you have any specific ones you want to link me to, feel
Yeah.
free.
It's it's kind of like picking up a book and just opening to a page and
Yeah, you just kind of got to go for it.
just accepting that that was what you were meant to read at that time. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lot like that. It's a lot like that.
What's the name of the channel? Is the same thing?
Ask a Ninja. Yes.
Okay, gotcha. So what I'll do then, I'll tell you what I'll do if it's applicable, because it doesn't necessarily appear with every channel, but
Hmm.
with most channels, if you open their videos tab, you can sort by like the most viewed.
Oh,
So I'll just
okay.
start there.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah. Either that or the oldest, but that's less likely.
Either way, you're gonna get some laughs.
Yeah, I have no doubt of that. What about on that kind of subject? Did you ever watch? I was just thinking about this earlier today. The Laser Collection.
The Laser Collection. I don't believe so. It doesn't ring any
So
bells.
right, so kind of like how I was telling you, Homestar Runner was like just before my time.
Yeah.
I would say these were probably a little after yours. They came out in like the midish to like 2000s on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
Uh,
pulling them up now.
yeah, they're like it's like a quick sketch compilation, kind of like ASDF movie,
Hmm.
except they're all centered around the shoop de whoop meme, aka I'm a fire in my laser, and it's just all these little bits. It's kind of strung together. If I recall correctly, what's the name of the channel you're watching it on right now?
Uh, Zero.
Right, yeah. So for reasons beyond me, the original creator, he was a guy named Dom Farah.
Hmm.
He deleted him from his channel. So what you're watching is an archive, I believe, of the whole series. Should be 1 through
Yeah.
7. Yeah, pretty humorous little thing they are. And I think they started before ASDF. I think, if I recall correctly.
It's a poorly drawn Pikachu. Okay.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
more that like uh, early YouTube energy. 3-4, low res,
Sure, sure. I uh
no
I'm
ads.
I might be missing a lot of the contextual background for some of this
Hmm.
stuff. I mean, as the trends go, the internet moves so quickly. If you haven't been plugged into it,
Yeah, oh yeah, you blink and you'll miss.
yeah, you could easily get
It.
buried by references, and then, well,
Uh-huh.
it all goes downhill from there.
I mean, it's just as simple as someone made a clip of like a caricaturized version of a character from Dragon Ball Z
Right.
saying, "I'm a fire in my laser," oh, and then Mr. Farah simply took that and made it into skits.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's like the skibbity toilet thing. I have no idea what that is. I don't
Oh, me neither.
I don't
That's
connect
after
to
my time.
that. I don't connect to that in any shape or form. Um, the kids
Certainly
these
not.
days, they're enjoying it, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Yeah.
Mm, me neither. What about you? Do you play any instruments?
I
I mean,
make lots of noises. Um, I I
oh
am
yeah.
I'm anxiously awaiting a drum machine. Like I don't know if you're familiar with the technology, but the Roland TR-808. Have you heard of this?
Not that
Okay.
like specific model, but I'm
It's
familiar with drum machines a little.
the 808 was like the quintessential hip hop drum machine. It's on all of like the 80s and lots of the 90s hip hop tunes and other genres, but primarily, you know, they talk about that 808 uh, sound in a lot of songs. Anyway, there's a company that made
Mm-hmm.
kind of a reproduction of it, and one will be arriving on my doorstep tomorrow. So I'm very excited to whip up some drums. I play a little bit of
Yeah.
guitar. Like I said, I'm teaching myself piano slash keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but a lot of stuff, if I'm interested in a thing, like when I was learning guitar, I would just sit with the guitar and a playback device of some sort and like play, pause, rewind, and just sample little bits until I could pick out whatever the chords or the melodies or whatever, and teaching myself that way. So um, when I say I like to make noise, I don't know that I consider myself too musical, but I
Mm-hmm.
make noises that are pleasant to my nervous system, and right now that's enough for me. But yeah,
Cool.
singing
Cool.
a little bit. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, you know, I started out in band playing trumpet until I got braces, and then that was just yeah. No, you can. You're exactly right.
No, that was part of that definitely was a part of why I stopped as well.
It's
I
not
mean,
pleasant.
mainly it was the breathing, as I mentioned before. But I
Yeah,
I too had braces in middle school.
and it's not doing you any favors when you're trying to get your armature correct
Oh
around the.
no,
Yeah, no. Um,
absolutely not.
Moved to saxophone after the braces came into play, and that was a little bit more forgiving.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, got out of band by junior high because for some reason my mind thought it wasn't cool to be in band. Um,
Aw.
yeah, I know, I know. Disregard. That was a totally false. It is very cool to be in band. It is very awesome to make music with a group of people. Um,
Yeah, I'm genuinely
so,
curious where that came from. That's interesting.
oh, I've got my psychology is it's a long and winding road. We'll just call it that. But you know,
Okay.
it's something that I was like I was kind of in the skater quote unquote skater crowd. You know, just kind of like
Mm.
the anti uh, collective consciousness. So
I
yeah,
see.
it was a weird thing where I was like, oh, guy, you know, I'm not a quote unquote normal kid. I don't want to be in band. I'm gonna
uh,
rebel against the system. Yeah,
yeah.
ill advised, but such is youth sometimes.
Hmm. I knew people who were like that, but also were still in the band. It was weird. Like they were very mean to my middle school band teacher
Oh
in
no.
the seventh or the eighth grade rather. Yeah, it's not good. She actually broke down crying in front of us one time. It was pretty rough.
Wow, dude. See, this is kids can be brutal, can't they? E-
Absolutely, they can. Yes.
Even adults are not immune. Man. Well,
Yeah.
do you still communicate with those people? Do you have any idea where their lives are at?
Oh, absolutely not. Like he dropped out of high school about three quarters of the way through. So like
Mm-hmm.
in our junior year about,
Mm-hmm.
and he was a bully too. So I was actually pretty happy to like be rid of him from my life. But I don't know where he went.
Well, you
So
know, they say that hurt people, right?
yeah.
And so, you know, he probably had something going on in the background that was driving a lot of those behaviors. Not to excuse it, but um,
No, no, of course.
you know, I try now to have compassion for those individuals in those situations, but it still doesn't excuse the behavior. You know, you kind of have to take ownership of your stuff at some point in time, um,
Yeah.
and realize that you're just putting out into the world more hate, and it doesn't mean that you don't still carry it. But anyway, I hope that he has found Jesus and straightened his life out, or
Yes.
whatever religious entity, makes him
Mm.
feel warm and fuzzied.
Right. He was one of those rare cases where, because I tried to like diffuse and like be diplomatic and be
Sure.
like, hey, what, you all right, everything okay, why are you treating us like this?
Yeah.
But he would only ever rebuff such with aggression, more aggression.
Doubling down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's good of you to try and extend that olive branch,
Hmm.
but
Yeah. I mean,
there's,
this guy he was out there.
yeah,
Not
dude.
to speak ill of the absent or anything, but yeah.
No, but you, by the same token, you gotta kind of call it how you see it. Your
Mm.
experience
Yeah.
is just as valid, right?
Yeah,
So,
certainly.
man. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't honestly. I don't know how he didn't get bullied back. I think it's weird. I don't know.
Well, you
But
know how
moving on. Let's move on.
deep dive on Jake's high school band experience.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
no, yeah. If you're like listening to this and you happen to be like of that age where you're about to go into high school, or you're still in like early enough stage of high school where you could join the band, do it.
Oh, 100%. And not just for
Be
the
a rock
playing of
star.
music. Well, that's a path that you can take to being a rock star, but it's also just a good time. The people
Well,
that were in the
yeah,
band were largely very nice people, and
yeah.
they're
There's
good.
a level of camaraderie there that's nigh unmatched. Like I still am in touch with most of the people that were on the drum line with me.
There you go.
That were my age anyway.
There you go. And
Yeah.
I would also throw a coin in the well for drama club. If you're on the fence, or if you find yourself not having a place in high school or a group, at least this was the case for me. Drama club was welcoming to everyone. Very
Yeah.
open, very receptive, and just like off the wall, just kind of batty fun. So
Mm.
if you're just kind of weird and you just want to hang out with people, go join a drama club.
Yeah. I was never in, but if I had not gone down the music path,
Hmm.
I could see myself having gone down that one instead.
You, my guy, would have fit in charmingly in
uh,
in the group of drama club individuals that I was associated with.
mhm.
No doubts. I'll tell you, you would probably find yourself singing a lot more in public.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
certainly.
yeah.
I knew a lot of people who were in both the band and in drama. Like,
Hmm.
I didn't have the energy to do both. I was like, no, I can't do that. I only one or the other. Heck no.
Yeah,
But respect to those who had the energy and absolutely smashed it and did it like
for
that.
sure,
Respect.
for sure. No, my hat is off to you, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, my dude.
I'm trying to think. I don't recall. I don't think ever like any performances like intersected with each other. So that's good.
Yeah, same
I don't
here.
think that was ever an issue.
They were very separate entities, but the downside, at least from my recollection, the marching bands would play football games, and they would have to come
Yep,
in super early before school to do practices, and
that's correct.
that would not have worked for my sleep schedule.
Oh yeah, no, it was kind of brutal. Like, but it was only during football season. So as soon as that ended, I was like, yes, we're going back. I
I can sleep, thank you.
can sleep in for like an extra hour.
Oh, and
Yeah,
when you're young, that extra hour is basically a week.
yeah, yeah, it is. And we would be up so early that as we were practicing out on the field, the sun would rise. So that was another little. I consider that a little added bonus because Sunsets are always nice to watch. Or sunrise, both are always nice to watch.
Yes, but there is a special magic of like greeting the day as it is risen.
Yes.
Yeah, many spiritual teachings talk about the benefits of waking up at 3:30 in the morning, you know, while the veil is
That's not where I thought
thin
you were going.
and all that. Oh, what?
I thought you were gonna say the benefit of waking up when the sun comes up, like because naturally, like you're programmed to wake up when the ambient
Yes.
lighting
Yes.
wherever you're sleeping increases. I
Correct.
thought that's where you were going with that.
It
But
is
then you
also
went 3
good.
a.m. and I went what?
Yeah. Well, so yeah, spiritual traditions a lot of times will talk about getting up at that hour because the if this is science, I'm not sure, but the veil between this our waking world and the worlds beyond is thin during those times. And so, if you're
Oh.
spiritually minded and you want to get up and you want to connect with the source consciousness, well, it's easier to pierce the veil when it is thinnest. But yeah, that's a little bit esoteric and maybe a talk for another time. But uh, the waking up with the sunrise is also good because, yeah, that's how our bodies were built millions of years ago before we had electricity and could just light the skies whenever we wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is that why the witching hour is it about that time as well?
The witching hour I believe is between midnight and 3:30, but yes, from my understanding, it is because um, the veil is thin. So yeah,
Huh.
we're coming up on
Hmm.
Halloween. That might be proper information for people.
Topical.
Topical.
Yeah, I was never into like that part of the spiritual world, if you will.
Hmm.
Did you ever know like anyone who was Wiccan?
Yes. Question mark. So for context, I grew up in Johnson County, Kansas, which is a suburban sprawl essentially. And so the people that I met who were Wiccan also lived in Johnson County. So
Hmm.
I don't know that I have a good firm grasp on the full dynamic of what is entailed in being a Wiccan, right? Because I kind of conceptualize it like
Right.
you're conscious of the natural flow. Maybe you talk to nymphs in the forest. I don't know. I'm ignorant in that regard, and I've not
I'm right there
chosen
with you.
I've not chosen to explore that aspect yet. But I did meet some people who claim to be Wiccan. Again, I question their credibility because of our of, of the city we lived in. Like, I mean, is it trendy to be Wiccan? I mean, I don't know. Maybe you just want to feel
You're like, all right,
special.
I need to see some ID.
Like, where's your Wiccan license, right? Like, I can hug
Yeah,
a
you
tree
pull out a
just
little
as good.
badge. Official Wiccan.
Or they rip the Scooby Doo mask off their face and be like, "Oh no, it was actually the Johnson County Wiccan." Yeah.
She's like, how do you know? How do we know that you're really a Wiccan? Do you have a subscription to Witches Be Trippin' magazine?
Which is
I
the
didn't think
tripping.
so. uh,
Exactly.
I only ever
Exactly.
met one in my life, and
Yeah.
she wasn't. She was a little vocal about it, but not too, because we were in that context. She was my supervisor, and we were working in childcare, and it's like
Hmm.
maybe not the best idea to talk about that around children because
Well,
of how parents feel.
I think the parents would be more the issue there because a lot of people
Yeah,
they're not comfortable with things that they don't understand, right?
exactly. I mean, ultimately, she's for the most part would be protected under the First Amendment,
Sure.
but depending on how far she takes, you know, talking about her beliefs,
Yes.
parents will be like, all right,
You're like,
dropping the hammer,
no,
putting
I'm
my foot
not.
down.
I'm not comfortable having my child in your presence. You're going to corrupt them.
Why is
with
there a
your-
ring of candles in the gym?
Who put all this salt on the floor? Why is this so wasteful?
Yeah, what's going on here? Is that the smell of blood? Is that chanting in the distance?
A goat? Really? A live goat in the classroom? No.
What's
no,
that doing here?
This won't work. Yeah.
Goats do Tuesday is not for another week.
No. It's for hot yoga. I swear. It's for hot goat yoga.
This cloak is my Jedi cosplay. That's what it is. Yeah.
These are not the beliefs
Nothing-
you're castrating.
Nothing
Yeah.
suspicious happening here.
No. It's totally on the above board. It's on the up and up. And yeah, no need
This
to
is
burn.
science, not superstition.
No
What are you
need to
talking
burn
about?
anyone at the stake. Seriously, it's fine.
It's like, did you ever watch Futurama?
Oh, only a few times. I wasn't a
Okay,
fan.
yeah, you remember the bit where they resurrect Calculon?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. So they so they're like, Farnsworth's like, he's a robot, so in order to resurrect him, we have to do science. And so he's like, here, put on these, it's like electromagnetic protective robes, and they look like they're like black cloaks with hoods on them. And then he's like, here, we have to arrange these 5 wireless access points in a circle, and then they connect and they form a pentagram, and the whole time like Hermes is protesting, and he's like, this is not science at all, this is not what science looks like, and Farnsworth is telling him to shut up, and he's like, now we have to take this mechanical goat and we have to get a processor from it, and he like stabs it open with a ritual knife while it's on an altar. And he's like, all right, now we have to surround the circle in the body and chant, and the whole time, no, this isn't science. And they just keep on digging deeper
Yeah.
until like his body floats up in the air, and then his ghost re-enters the robot. It's great.
That is classic.
I love that show.
Well, just the satire of it, right? Is that satire?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's absolutely satire is what that is.
Oh my god. It's just
Yeah.
it's so wild. And what frightens me is, how cyclical our knowledge as humanity is. Back in the day, people thought that the Earth was flat, and now today there's some people that
They still do. No.
think the Earth is flat, and it's like, well, is it though? Is it really? It'll be interesting to see 500 years from now what the truth actually is, what lies behind the ice wall, if you will. Do we exist in a firmament? I don't know. Every time I've gone on a plane, it feels like there is a horizon that curves. Maybe that's just my perception being skewed by atmosphere. The perspective that we have is only as broad as it is, and lots of people are not in a broad perspective. I'm sorry, I was just kind of tumbling through my mind about Salem witch trials and persecution.
Oh yeah.
Persecution of those beings who go against the grain.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just weird. You never know.
It is weird.
You never know.
Yeah.
I think it would be wild if it turns out that we do live on a flat Earth, and it is sequestered under a firmament. But I don't think that's very likely.
I was gonna say, I think at this point we've
No.
pretty firmly proved that the Earth is a sphere.
I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable believing that the Earth is a sphere. The pictures from space designate Earth as a sphere. I'm comfortable saying that it's a round ball.
Yes.
But then
Confirmed.
you cannot
Myth busted.
Myth busted. No, seriously, it's round, 100%. Oh, but no.
No.
Let's just close the book on this one and move on. It's a round Earth. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but people will hold on to their beliefs until their dying day.
I guess so.
No, it's true.
Have you seen the new Futurama on Hulu?
I have not. I do not have Hulu.
Well, there are ways to get around that, me matey. Just take to the 7 seas. Yarr.
No. Not since my 20s. Yeah, not since my
The
20s.
good
But
thing
anyway.
about that is it's easier than ever to do it now, and in this day and age, it's also more justified than ever because if purchasing isn't ownership,
Mm.
piracy is not stealing.
Ooh, that's a good tagline. And it handily
Yes,
justifies your behavior as well, so that's nice.
I didn't come
Um,
up with that. Just to be clear.
I'll be no copyright infringement here.
Mm-mm.
No, I mean on that point I get it, but I'll be honest, I have plenty of distractionary potential in my existing streaming sphere. Um,
That's fair.
I don't I don't feel comfortable diving into another. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But is it completely new, this Futurama?
Yeah, I mean they just revived it last year, and they just dropped a second season in this sort of revival era
Wow.
earlier this year.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, heck
what's
yeah.
what's particularly interesting to me is just like because when the original Futurama came out, the concept of it is, Fry gets frozen in right at Y2K, and he wakes up in the year 3000. So like
Mm-hmm.
everything that they're satirizing is like from the 90s,
Mm-hmm.
and then like
Mm-hmm.
when they brought it back on Comedy Central, it's like the 2000s, and now we're seeing the modern things happening today through the lens of Futurama, and it's just interesting to look at.
I got you.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then
Okay.
they're hit or miss, but it's not bad. Like you know, it's Futurama, so I'll take it.
Yeah, and also this ideal that everything needs to be good all the time is not realistic or healthy, but absolutely strive for it. Just be okay with it not being knock your socks off fantastic every single time,
Yeah,
right? But then
I
again,
think, I think
why
that's
would
like
you
what a
want?
lot of people have issue with when it comes to like reviewing movies and shows that come out. I mean, and again, a lot of them are pretty bad,
Hmm.
but I feel like I'll watch something and I'll be like, hey, you know what? I enjoyed that, and then I'll go on the internet and it'll be like, this freaking was not great. This sucked. What's going
Yeah,
on?
yeah. I heard something in that lane with regards to the second Joker. Like everybody was trashing the second Joker because it was like a musical or something, and I was on the way to work and listened to the radio, and the disc
Oh yeah.
jockey mentioned that he went and saw the Joker 2, and he was like, "Yeah, it's a musical because a lot of it happens in the mind of the Joker." And so contextually, from his perspective, the musical aspect of it kind of made sense. Like it fit and it wasn't out of place. So it could very well be that everybody that was going and complaining about it being a musical were just expecting it to be more like gore and violence and whatever like craziness that the Joker would be participating in. But this maybe the new Joker was actually like an internal glimpse at his psychology in which a lot of musical things happen in his head because that's how he keeps himself somewhat alive slash sane, and that's a relative term, of course, but
Hmm.
perspective
Have you
plays
seen
a
it?
big part. I have not,
Okay.
and partially because there has been so much of that. It's terrible.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, okay,
Definitely
well,
skewing it.
yeah, I don't now. I will let movies like that die out until nobody's talking about them again, and I'll wait until they come up on Vudu or Fandango for like $5, and
Hmm.
then I'll be like, oh yeah, I did want to see that before I heard all the people talking trash about it, and then I'll buy it, and then I can enjoy it without coloring my experience from all of the talk that was going about.
Fair enough. There you
Yeah,
go.
I mean that's how I move. That's how I move.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
it consequently I do not I'm not able to participate in a lot of the dialogue uh,
Yeah. Right.
at the
That's fair.
culturally
Because
relevant time.
mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at dialogue like the one that is happening around that movie, is it? Would you really want to? I mean, it's because it's so largely negative and
And what
doesn't
what
seem very constructive at all.
no, what does that contribute to the greater
Yeah.
good,
Exactly.
to the whole? Yeah.
What did you think about the first one, though?
The first one, oof. I really enjoyed, but also the scenes where he was getting bullied, kind of that was a little bit of a trigger for me. It's a little bit of a soft spot because I was bullied quite a bit when I was a kid. Um,
Hit a little too close to home.
it did,
Yeah,
and
I could see that.
it speaks to the cruelty that humanity can have a lot of times. And not
Hmm.
to say that we're meant to be fluffy and nice to one another all the time, but life can be brutal, man. Especially if you're one that falls a little outside the range of normal. Um, so
Yeah.
it hit hard that way, but I enjoyed the brutality of watching his descent into becoming the monster. Um, as heartbreaking as it is,
Right. Yeah. I
I
just like you know how they had a lot of moments where you didn't really know whether it was real or in his head,
mm-hmm.
and on a lot of them they don't ever really fully confirm it. They do with some of it, but I felt like they played just a little too fast and loose with that, and I hope there's not too much of that in the sequel.
That's fair. You like a little. You like to be a little bit more grounded in a clear definition between what's fantasy and reality.
Yeah, or like, I mean, if you are gonna do like a is this in his head or not real,
Mm.
put some subtle clues in there to indicate what it actually is instead of leaving. I don't know. Watch the sequel when it comes out in 5 years.
It's open to the viewer's interpretation. Like, well,
That's.
yeah, but you
I
created this
mean,
thing. Like, did you
I,
not? Did you not have a vision
yeah.
for it?
I mean, yeah. Sometimes that works, leaving it open to interpretation, but it has to be done right. And in the case of the Joker, in my opinion, it wasn't.
mm.
Like, it wasn't bad. I didn't hate it, but there were people out there that were like, "This is transcendental art. We live in a society." Disagree. Wasn't that good?
We are meaning makers, right? Like that's what our brains do. So if you want to take it to that,
Mm-hmm.
it's transcendental art. He's talking about. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know. It's a movie.
It's
Um,
yeah. It does not say a lot about society.
it does and it doesn't have to. Like it's not. It
No.
doesn't have to be all that. Um, it's great when it is, but I don't know. I don't feel like the Joker was really speaking to deeper issues.
No. Nor was he relatable.
Eh,
Well,
eh, I could see some.
what am I? Do I have to worry about you killing me now? No, I'm
No,
just kidding.
absolutely not. Absolutely not. But some of the situations that he found himself in, I think there's
Yeah.
relatability
Okay.
there.
Sure.
Not so much the
But
decisions that he made and the choices that
yeah,
he
that's what
made
I
coming
meant.
out of those. Yeah, no, no, no. Like if anybody is embracing that Joker character development arc, please talk to someone, okay? It is
Mm-hmm.
not the way to go. Like if you've
Stop it.
experienced
Get some help.
if you've experienced bad treatment, don't perpetuate that by treating others poorly, okay? You
Yeah.
got to you got to break the chain somehow. Um, but yeah,
Yeah. And make sure what you're seeing is reality.
that also would be beneficial.
Yeah.
That's I've been there's a couple of schizophrenic videos that'll pop up on my Instagram feed from time to time because I follow an account called Schizophrenic Reader, I think is his name, or Daily
Mm-hmm.
Schizophrenic Read. But this is a man with diagnosed schizophrenia that reads just an astonishing amount of books, and he'll give his thoughts on these books, and it's kind of nice. But because I followed that gentleman, sometimes I'll get schizophrenic videos where people are utilizing their cell phone cameras to confirm or deny if something is reality, right? So like they'll
Ah.
they'll be having a conversation with an entity across the apartment, and like their dog will be sitting there looking up at them like, who are you talking to, dude? and they'll pull out their cell phone and aim the camera over there, and there's nothing on the camera. Okay, I was just talking to my hallucination. And it's nice to have those checks and balances of like, like, is this actually happening, or is it just in my imagination?
Do you suppose it's possible, though, to hallucinate him also being on the camera of your phone? Like, if your brain is dedicated enough to the bit?
So I gotta, I have to acknowledge that potential exists. Yeah, like, it ultimately, I mean, our phones are black mirrors, right? Like, they are kind of a projection of our consciousness. So if your consciousness is that ingrained in their reality, I'd say, yeah, it's possible that you could hallucinate into your phone screen. But having said that, I think it's also possible that there could be an overriding belief that the phone screen and the phone camera is not going to lie to you, right? And the older I get, I think the more it's belief that kind of shapes our reality. And so if you hold that belief higher than your consciousness holds the hallucination, maybe it'll still be there for your lifeline. I don't know, man. It's wild. I can only imagine what that experience is like, to not be able to trust your brain and your sense perception. My heart goes out to anyone who's experiencing that. Stay strong and man, keep keeping on.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. We're here for you.
No doubt. Like, this is
Yeah, and if you want us to keep being here for you, make sure you click that subscribe.
Click the like, subscribe, tell your friends. This is round one. Things will improve. I guarantee it. But
oh yeah,
also we're just here kind of shooting the breeze and having conversation.
Yeah.
So it's Coffee Talk with your hosts Jake and Chris.
Coffee.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
How sweet.
Oh, jeez.
That being said, we are at a little over an hour in at this point. I don't know how long you wanted to go for it, but I do have to get to doing some things in a little while here. I've got a little bit more time, but
So I'll be honest with you. I was kind of thinking we'd do like a 30-minute kind of chit chat, tech rundown. Right, I didn't fully envision going an hour, but cool. I'm glad we've done this. I'm cool with giving it a fond farewell. There was a Costco run that I need to take part in.
Oh, sure thing, man.
Get my meal preps ready for the rest of the week, and some domestics. But yeah, dude, it's good chatting with you. And
yeah.
I guess I don't know. I'm not so great with goodbyes. I typically do the Irish goodbye and just disappear into the fog.
Right.
You can't do that on audio.
Not into the FOD.
Oh,
no. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing about a good conversation is you start talking and then you blink and then suddenly an hour has gone by. So that's how we know we've got something good here. I think anyway. That all being said. Thank you for watching / listening to this. Well, I say watching, but we're not putting cameras up on the YouTube. It'll just be another audio version. But thank you for listening to this, our inaugural episode of The FOD Couple. Oh, that I almost forgot. We have to reveal what FOD means before we go.
Oh, that's right. We planted the Easter egg. Okay.
Yeah, so take a moment to pause the video and leave your guesses. Either comment it or have it in your brain. Preferably commentate, because I need that sweet interaction.
We gotta feed the algorithm, man. We gotta feed the algorithm. But go for it. Let them know.
Yeah. Anyway, FOD comes from in any industry where you're like manufacturing / assembling, and you need to keep the product and the workstation clean. So, like the one we work in. Chris and I, and it stands for either foreign object debris or foreign object damage. And
Indeed.
it's used to refer to basically anything that doesn't belong there, and any damage caused by something that doesn't belong either in the workspace or the thing you're working on.
Correct. Well said.
And there are signs about FOD all over the place
Everywhere.
where we work.
Everywhere.
And the logo of this podcast is inspired by one. So take that how you will. No copyright infringement intended.
None.
Let me know if you think the logo is a good-looking one, because I like to think it is pretty good-looking anyway. But I'm biased because I made it.
I give
Anyway.
it thumbs up. That's good.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. That's
Yeah, no,
that's
for
gonna be
sure.
our episode 1.
For sure.
That's our wrap up.
Yee!
Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Love y'all. Bye.